Hello everyone, welcome back to this lecture in which we are going to talk about contact pressure and settlement under foundations. See, whenever a foundation is placed on the soil, then it will transfer the load applied on the foundation to the soil, and the vertical pressure at contact surface between the foundation bottom and its base material, that is soil or rock, is termed as contact pressure, whereas the settlement at the base is termed as contact settlement. Contact pressure distribution and contact settlement beneath symmetrically loaded shallow foundation are the function of base material, that is the soil, the consistency or density of soil or rock quality, and relative rigidity of the base material and foundation. For the limiting cases of rigidity, that is a perfectly flexible or perfectly rigid foundation, the distribution of contact pressure and settlement for both cohesionless as well as a cohesive soil are given by Borovica theory that we are going to study in this particular session. Consider a flexible footing carrying a uniformly distributed load on the surface of a cohesionless soil, that is sand. Now, here the contact pressure is uniform throughout, whereas the contact settlement is not uniform, and the outer edge of the footing undergoes a relatively larger settlement, as you can see here, as compared to that at the center. And here below the center of the footing, the settlement is small because the soil develops strength and rigidity as soon as it is loaded by the footing. Whereas now let us talk about the rigid footing, and again this rigid footing is placed on the cohesion less soil. Then in such particular rigid footing you actually observe that the contact settlement is uniform everywhere. But if I am talking about the settlement to be uniform, then the pressure, that is the contact pressure, is more at the center, whereas there is no pressure at the edges. And this you can also see in this particular diagram here. If the average pressure is relatively small, or if the footing width is large, then the non-uniform pressure distribution is somewhat flatter over the central portion of the footing, that you can also see in the second diagram. So both the variation of contact pressure is correct, and it depends upon that what is the width of the footing. But if this rigid footing is placed in a cohesionless soil deposit but below the ground surface, then there is some strength below the edge of the footing also. So therefore the pressure is not zero at the edges, as you can see in this diagram. For very deep footings on the sand, the contact pressure distribution may be likely like that discussed in this particular session only for the rigid footings in cohesive soil. Now let us consider our third case, and the third case is of a flexible footing, but now the soil is changed to the cohesive soil. So in such particular case you will see that the contact pressure distribution is uniform, but the resulting contact compressive strain, that is settlement, beneath the footing shows a dish pattern. That is, the maximum settlement is at the center, and this is because of the greater stress below the center of the footing in the subsurface horizontal layers, such as that you can see here. Now, if we talk about our fourth case, that is of the rigid footing that is resting on cohesive soil, then here again you will see that the contact settlement is uniform throughout all the points below the footing, whereas the contact pressure distribution is not uniform and it is more at the edges than at the center, as you can also see in this particular diagram here. Now, according to the theory of elasticity, for an elastic material of infinite strength, the contact pressure distribution is as indicated in the figure by the long dash dot curves here, which shows an infinite stress at the edges of the footing here. Actually, an infinite stress cannot occur, but the stress at the edges may be much larger than at the center. Now, see, this is all what is given by the theory here. But now, what we actually follow in practice, in practicals, that in spread footing, if we are talking about spread footing, those are usually intermediate to high rigidity only. So the actual contact pressure distribution is not uniform here. Bearing capacity and settlement analysis, as well as the structural design of the footing based on such a distribution, would be very complex. So here it is a common practice to use uniform distributed contact pressure. Here we simply take a uniform pressure just below the spread footing, and results of some field measurements indicate that this simplification in design of the spread footing does not cause serious error and the assumption can be considered adequate. However, after a design has been prepared on the basis of this, it is suggested that the designer review it and strengthen it at the location where the actual distribution gives greater stresses than are given by the assumed distribution. Now, if we talk about mat or raft foundation, the problem of contact pressure distribution and deformation are quite different from those with the spread footings. Here, usually mat foundation have a much smaller thickness to width ratio, and thus these are more flexible than the spread footing. Therefore, the assumption of rigidity is no longer valid. Also, the assumption of linear contact pressure distribution would be erroneous unless the supporting material is mud or peat or any soft soil. At locations of heavy load, such as those of column and bearing walls, a mat settles more than at locations with relatively light loads because the pressure beneath the heavily loaded zones are greater. And you can also see that in this particular diagram that contact pressure distribution beneath a mat rests on strong bedrock. The column loads are transmitted to the rock on a relatively smaller area directly under the columns, whereas when a mat rests on stiff soil, the column loads are distributed to the supporting soil in larger area as compared to the rock, whereas the pressure beneath a mat foundation resting on the soft soil approaches more planar distribution. So this is about the variation of contact pressure as well as the contact settlement under the shallow footings, and yes, this will be useful for us when we are going to study about the shallow foundation in detail in this particular course. So I am ending this session here only, and I am hoping that you will remember whatever we have learned in this particular session. So see you again in our next lecture. Till then, keep learning, keep growing.